Chelsea Football Club, you've just been lying to every single fan. Let's stop beating around the bush. The shortlist was put out there on purpose. I'm going to explain to you how Chelsea have just basically manipulated the fan base to be okay with De Zerbi. Because De Zerbi is going to be Chelsea's new manager. I'm going to explain to you from head to toe what has happened, why we've been bamboozled, why the Xavi links are nonsense, why Frank isn't coming, McKenna, Enzo Maresca, and even Amorim was the #1 pick. He wasn't attainable, and they had De Zerbi lined up. I will explain this because what they did is prime manipulation, and it's actually amazing that so many people have fallen for it. Secondly, we need to talk about the one thing. People telling me Amorim is not a good manager, but want Xabi Alonso, but want Tuchel. Let me explain to you something. You don't watch Sporting. You've never watched Sporting, and you don't understand what you're talking about. I will break it down for you so that you do understand what you're talking about. Because evidently, you've not watched a single game of Sporting Lisbon properly. Because if you think all he is a counter-attacking manager, you don't understand football. And I don't use that term loosely. And finally, Mauricio Pochettino didn't get us into the Europa League. He got us into the Conference League. Let me tell you the ramifications of the fact that Chelsea are in the Conference League and what it means for the lovely kit that we could have had, the Jordon deal. Because that's off the table too. Jordon did not wait long enough. They absolutely briefed everyone. Spurs ain't getting it. Chelsea ain't getting it. We want nobody. Let me break it down. Let's get into it. Hit the like button if you made it this far and you're clearly enjoying the content. Subscribe if you like the way I deliver the content, explain the content, and more importantly, the pace and tone that I do it with a little bit of upbeat. Let's get into it. So it looks like the mysterious fourth candidate for Chelsea is Roberto De Zerbi. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Not me, huh? All of us were saying it. Every single channel was saying, why is De Zerbi not getting interviewed? Well, let me explain to you what has happened. Because Chelsea played this beautifully, right? And when I say beautifully, I mean by manipulating the fans, not hiring the new manager. What Chelsea did was, they sacked Pochettino, and they said, De Zerbi's the guy we want. Because Amorim's unattainable. We're not going to be able to get him. He's not interested in the job. Because we know they've interviewed him twice. They left with glowing reports about him. They wanted him this time, and I don't think he wants to come to the mess at the moment that is known as Chelsea Football Club. And sadly, as much as I'm annoyed about it, I think he's not going to take the job. So they said, we'll go for Roberto De Zerbi. And then they sat there and said, oh, Paul, Lawrence, this ain't going to work because the fans already hate the fact that we've brought 23 employees from Brighton to Chelsea. So we need to find a way to do this. They hired a PR company. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. This is what I think happens, allegedly. They hired a PR company and they said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put Thomas Frank, the bridesmaid, always the bridesmaid. Liverpool job, he's on the shortlist. Man United job, he's on the shortlist. Chelsea job, every time he's on the shortlist. Never has any success of getting him. And we'll say that they're the 3 leading candidates. And then there's going to be outrage from the fans because Enzo Maresca has no experience outside of 12 months as a manager in England. Kieran McKenna only had 2 years experience. Yes, he's successful, but people aren't going to like him because he's only got 2 years of League One and Championship, and they're going to be fuming. And you know Frank, he's the bridesmaid. Then what's going to happen is we are going to go and get you guys De Zerbi to come in knight in shining armor. And what's happened is people went from no to De Zerbi to we need De Zerbi. De Zerbi's the only manager we can get. Amorim or De Zerbi, I've been saying it religiously. And what I find funny is, why are you so easily manipulated? 6 weeks ago, people were telling me De Zerbi's a clown. He's not a good manager. I was saying, oh, De Zerbi's actually a genuinely good coach. Maybe he's not suited to be the best option for Chelsea, but he's a good coach. I was laughed at. I was told I don't know ball. I like tippy-tappy merchants. I like a zebra. I was told I shouldn't be allowed to channel because I talk nonsense and waffle. And now, all of those people have come around. Why De Zerbi is going to be the right appointment is actually very simple. And I'll get into that. De Zerbi will give us attractive football. De Zerbi will develop the young players that they have inherited already and purchased. And more importantly, the biggest one of all. De Zerbi is the best manager available at the market right now that our owners are willing to get. Amorim's not available. They can't get this deal done. It's too expensive, and more importantly, I don't think he wants us. Tuchel ain't coming back. Jose and Conte, get over it. This isn't 2003, 2010 anymore. Those managers are not better than De Zerbi at this current day. I'm sorry. The remit that this job is, Jose Mourinho will be out by November screaming, this is unacceptable, this is not Chelsea, we can't have kids, we need to have more experienced players, and fired by December the 1st. Conte, God forbid, bruv, he will set Stamford Bridge alight himself. Like, he will not have this job. And the reality is, if you have a project and it's got a specific remit, you pick a man to lead it that matches the remit. Those managers don't. De Zerbi does. Thomas Frank being interviewed, waffle. It's coming from Sky Germany. When was he interviewed? Last time we were looking for a manager, or the time before that, or this time? I don't believe it. The Xavi links, this is just his agent trying to filter it out to see if he can get a job. I don't buy it at all. It was always Roberto De Zerbi or Ruben Amorim. They couldn't get Amorim, they went and got De Zerbi. And I promise you, this deal has been done long before we agreed, like now, to put him on the short list. Don't fall for it. When it comes to Ruben Amorim, Amorim, for me, is the best manager Chelsea could have got. Regardless to who's available, right? Unless Pep becomes available, he's the only manager at this moment that I would take. And maybe Carlo Ancelotti ahead of Ruben Amorim. That's how highly I value this. And when people tell me, oh, he's a rubbish 3 at the back manager, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Why is it when we tucked in Cucurella and we're building up with a 3-2-5, everyone loved it, but you don't want to start like that? Why is it that just because at the start of the game you get that little graphic that tells you playing 4 at the back, people are deluded enough to think, oh, we are playing 4 at the back, when really in possession we're not. Amorim plays very nice football. More importantly, people want Xabi Alonso. What is the difference between Alonso's football and Amorim's? What is the difference between Tuchel's football and Amorim? It's possession-based. Both teams have around about 60 to 65% of the ball at all times. They mix it up. They go short and vertical every now and then. They do nice combination plays. The 4 wing backs absolutely bomb forward to create the width. The interchange in the middle between the striker and the 2 forwards is beautiful. The 2 midfielders are basically always options but aren't the key pivotal role. And then the stupid argument that people say, oh, he skips the midfield. He doesn't skip the midfield. It's the options he has. He has 2 donkeys in midfield. What is he going to do? Just empower donkeys? No, he's going to use the strengths of his team. If he was at Chelsea, he would have Lavia, Caicedo, Santos, Enzo. He would utilize their strengths. Do you think he is stupid and he wouldn't see, I've got good ball progresses here, we can alter the way we play football a little bit, we can take my system to the next level? Obviously he would. And the way that I would want to show this is, people rate Alonso and say he's attacking football possession based and Amorim's a long ball merchant. But when you look at the 2 systems and statistically, Amorim's teams play better football based on a statistical basis. And it blows my mind that people are so open-minded to Xabi Alonso because of his playing days. Ruben Amorim is binned because he didn't have a huge playing career that everyone knows of. And for me, that's the problem. It's exactly why Kieran McKenna was overlooked. It's exactly why Enzo Maresca was overlooked. Because they're not Zidane, they're not Pirlo, they're not Lampard, they're not Gerrard. The fact that people still have faith in Lampard and Gerrard, yet they don't have faith in a Kieran McKenna who's already, in my opinion, has shown how talented he is. It's mind-boggling to me. We really need to move away from the way we assess managers. People need to stop assuming that because you did something good in 2005, you're still relevant in 2024. Time moves on. Things evolve. Stop being dinosaurs. Honestly, you need to change the way you judge managers. You can't judge managers based on a CV. By that logic, Poch is a better manager than De Zerbi and a better coach than every other manager that's not won Ligue 1. Evidently, he won Ligue 1, so he's got a trophy on his list. He's been in the game for 12 years. But we saw how crap Poch was every now and then. So that's just my opinion. I don't care what you lot think. I'm dead serious on this one. Because if you're telling me Ruben Amorim doesn't play possession-based football, I actually don't want you to agree with me, because all it will tell me is I don't know what I'm talking about if someone that doesn't understand what they're seeing is telling me I'm right. The final thing that's really pissed me off, and today I am in a bad mood, and the reason I'm in a bad mood is because I wanted Europa League, right? I genuinely wanted Europa League. I wanted to sit here on a Thursday and go da-na-na-na-na-da-da-na-na. I don't even know the stupid Conference League anthem. Do they even have an anthem? Like, genuinely, what am I going to be singing? There's no these are the champions that I'm going to be singing for Champions League nights on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Thursday nights, na-na-na-na-na, it's not here anymore. So now I've got the Conference League. We're getting to Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Armenia, Belarus, Literally, I have no clue who we can actually play. Genuinely have no clue. It's going to be a vibe. People are saying we're going to complete the set. We're going to win every trophy. It's not a good thing to win every trophy in the last 10 years. Do you know how mad it is that we can actually complete the set in 10 years? It means our club has been so topsy-turvy. It's frustrating. And what annoys me is people wanted to keep Pochettino because he's done a good job. He got us Europa League. He didn't get us Europa League. If he got us Europa League, he would have finished 5th. And then it would have been guaranteed Europa League. But he got us in a conditional offer. And guess what? That condition went down the drain. And what happens with that condition? It's even worse. The fact that we might have to forfeit our position in the Conference League due to FFP breaches is mad. The fact that we are going to have to most probably breach FFP, say, all right, kick us out this year, so we're in the Conference League, we'll take our punishments this year, give us our little fine, slap on the wrist, and next year will be better if we qualify. That is an option. This happened to Juventus, it could happen to Chelsea. And the final piece of news that I want to talk about is the Jordon deal is not happening. All of us were going to be so happy. How many of us were going to go buy the latest kit with that Jordan logo on us? It was going to be so sick because you see the PSG kit. Can you imagine how sick our kits would be? Do you know what kind of clothes we would have had? I would have actually went and bought a Chelsea. Like genuinely, I would have went and bought training gear. And you would have seen me on this channel wearing Chelsea gear all the time because I would have loved it. Now my new gym attire would have been Chelsea training gear. However, it is what it is. Jordan don't want to associate themselves with losers because that's what we are. We're in a Conference League, so I'm going to call us losers. But there is a light at the end of every tunnel, right? We could get the Jordan deal next year if we make the Champions League. The deal's not off the table. They will consider it. They are prone to want Champions League football. However, it's not happening this year and it's frustrating. I'm very annoyed with the players. I'm very annoyed with Poch because I thought at least we'd have Europa League and it's another avenue into the Champions League and a great trophy. Because I really like the Europa League. I do. I've always respected that cup. I didn't understand the Thursday night banter. I don't like the Conference League. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. I think it's a waste of time. I don't know why they have it, but we're in it. So if we're in it, we have to win it. There is no excuses. I don't care who we play. I don't care who's in it. I don't care who drops from the Europa League. We have to win that tournament. We need to blood some youth in. We've got some qualification games in August on the 22nd and 29th. And after that, it's time for the real thing. So we better qualify because if we go out, it is super embarrassing. I don't want to have to cover that and be upset. But guys, prepare. It's going to be Roberto De Zerbi. So it is what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out.